Hi everyone, welcome. Today's topic is overview of business landscape. This is very foundational knowledge on understanding of business and business functions. Particularly, we will understand here how HR function structured in an organization, which is basis for better understanding of HR applications like SAP SuccessFactors and SAP HCM in the future videos. The agenda of today's topic is we will understand the definitions of business, industry, and sector. Also, we will look at the hierarchy of these three terms. After that, we will understand the sector with India's economic sector types. And finally, we will see the business landscape and we will understand how the HR function structured in global organization. Here, when we look at business, in simple terms, business is nothing but creation of one product or service and sell it for money. If we want the exact definition, it follows as a business referred to an organization or entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities typically involves the exchange of goods or services for money. We can give examples for business like steel, lens, t-shirts, auto components, and call center. In all these examples, we are creating the products or services and sell for money, isn't it? Second, industry refers to group of companies or organizations that are engaged in similar or related business activities. For example, manufacturing, healthcare, information technology enabled services, and insurance are some of the good examples for industry. Coming to the sector. A sector, a group of various or similar industries together. Examples, primary sector, industry sector. And we will understand better about sector in the India's economic sector discussion in the coming slides. When we look at the hierarchy of business, industry and sector, sector is at high level or the primary one which refers to the group of industries, and industry is at the second level after the sector, which is group of similar businesses. And finally, business at the below level, which refers to the exchange of products or services for money. Now let us go through the India's economic sector. For better understanding of what is sector means, India's economic sector broadly divided into three types. One is based on the activity nature, and the second on basis of work condition, third on basis of assets ownership. First, let us look at the basis of assets ownership. We have public and private sectors based on the assets ownership. If the assets ownership with the government of India, we call them as public sector, or with any other individuals or group of people, we call them as private sector. Best example for this, Navaratna, Mini Ratna companies, especially into defense, natural resources, businesses are owned by government of India, which are called as public sector companies. For instance, Reliance is owned by Ambani and it is called private sector company. Next, coming to the basis of work condition, we have organized sector Unorganized sector under basis of work condition. Organized sector, if the companies are following company laws, compliances as directed by the government of India, those are under organized sector. For example, banks. And companies which are not following the laws, compliances, especially minimum wages to employees, are called unorganized sector. We can give example for these, some of the infrastructure companies in India. Finally, on the basis of activity nature. So this is one of the important sector we should understand because most of the companies which runs their business comes under this sector. So on the basis of activity nature, we have primary sector. Primary sector, which is directly using the natural resources. Or in other words, this sector creates the base for all other products. The best example for primary sector are mining, agriculture, fishing, and dairy. And the people who works in the primary sector, we call them as red collar workers. Coming to the second sector, here this sector creates the finished products from the base they receive from the primary sector. Meaning the raw material is from primary sector. On top of that, secondary sector creates the finished products. We call them as industrial sector as well. Textiles, steel, chemicals are some of the secondary sector businesses. The employee with the secondary sector business, we call them as blue collar workers. Next about is tertiary sector. We call this sector also service sector. It supports the industry sector with service. Mainly banking, insurance, and finance are part of the sector. The people who works in sector is also called as white collar workers. Coming to the next sector is quaternary sector or quaternary activities. This sector is also called as knowledge sector. Teaching and research and development are part of this sector. And final sector is about quinary activities or quinary sector. The people who works at the decision making level. For example, company CEOs and policymakers from parliament and assemblies of states comes under this sector. The people who work at this level, we call them as gold collar workers. This is about different sectors present in Indian economy. Last and important topic of this video is structure of HR function in business landscape. As discussed before, similar set of businesses we call as industry. If you look at different types of industries, here we have manufacturing, healthcare, e-commerce, insurance, banking and finance, ITS, information technology enabled services, and automobile are some of the different types of industries we have here. And in one industry, let's consider manufacturing, for instance, we have steel, textile, lens, and auto components. Meaning in one sector, one industry, we have different businesses comes under that particular industry. And different companies can do one business. For instance, if I consider lens business, the organization A, organization B, C, and D are the different companies who are doing the same business. And in one organization, for instance, here B, organization B lens, can have different business functions like manufacturing operations, marketing, sales, HR, finance, and legal. And here, when we look at HR function, in HR function again, there are different processes and people assigned to it to carry out the task of that process. Let's say HRBP is one process, talent acquisition is one process, talent management is another process. HR people, HRBP are mainly deal with the employee engagement and their facilities in order to carry out their job duties. In HRBP process, HRBP present at global team, our central team, HRBP is present at regional teams, and HRBP is present at country and local teams. All of them has different set of roles and responsibilities. Ownership present at the level, meaning their scope and access of employees' data differs accordingly. This is about high level understanding of HR function in a business. I'm sure this knowledge definitely gives advantage in order to understand HR application in future videos. With this, I'm going to stop this video. I thank you for your support. Please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. And don't forget to comment your thoughts on this video. Thank you very much.